If you're just starting out on Pinterest, you're probably noticing that the growth is very slow. But once you start to gain traction on Pinterest, it all pays off in the end. I have managed to grow my Pinterest account from 0 to 200,000 impressions a month, all by pinning 100% of my own pins. Here's how. If I were starting a brand new Pinterest account from 0, the first thing that I would do is keyword research my topic. Keyword research is one of the most important aspects on Pinterest because Pinterest is a search engine, not a social media site. Many users don't go there to scroll aimlessly through the homepage. They go there to solve a problem and search something up. And it's important that you show up in those searches for your desired keywords in order to help you get noticed. So how do you find keywords on Pinterest? The first way is pretty simple. You just have to go to the Pinterest search bar and start typing in the topic of your blog post or whatever keyword you want to rank for. From there, Pinterest will use an autocomplete tool similar to Google and try to finish your sentence for you. All of the words that come up are the most popular search terms on the platform for that original keyword. And then if you want to go a little bit deeper into your research, just type in your keyword and hit enter. You should see a ton of suggestions pop up at the top, what I call keyword bubbles. If you click on one that you like, it will take you deeper into that search and help you narrow it down a little bit more. And if you don't see bubbles when you're searching something up, or if you've clicked on enough bubbles and you no longer see any more up at the top, that either means you've went so deep into that keyword that people stopped there and they found what they were looking for. Meaning they didn't look up any other words or phrases related to that keyword because they found what they were looking for on that page. Or if you look it up and you don't see any at all, that may be because that search term isn't very popular, or it could be that they just found exactly what they were looking for when you searched up that keyword. Unfortunately, we have no way to know what the volume for every search term on Pinterest is, but there is a tool that can help slightly. There's a tool that you can use called Pinterest Trends. I will leave a link to it down below if you want to check this tool out. Here's how it works though. You can type in a search term and then you can see a graph of how often that search term is looked up at different parts of the year. This is the best tool to use if you are looking to start posting holiday content and you're not sure when to start. This tool is unfortunately pretty limited as it doesn't have every single search term of Pinterest on it. And it doesn't really give you the volume of searches, it kind of just ranks it out of 100. However, it is good to get a little bit of a general idea, and if you scroll down a little bit, you'll also see some other search terms that you can look up to see the volume of them to get just a little bit more insight into that search term. Once you have your keywords though, where do you put them? There are a few places on your account that you need them. The first one is in your profile name. If you noticed earlier when I was looking at keywords in the search bar, you also saw accounts showing up for those keywords as well. This is a good way to get your account found and possibly find some new followers. You can see the keywords that I want to rank for in my profile name right here. You can also add these main keywords into your account bio as well. These are going to be the general or broad keywords that you want your entire account to be known for, and then later we'll get into the more specific keywords. The third place is your board names, and this is when you can start a little bit to narrow down what you want to rank for each board. Each board or topic should have a specific keyword that you want that board to rank for. I always recommend new accounts start out with 10 to 15 boards. That way your account looks established and it doesn't look like it's new. The fourth place is in your board descriptions. So the board title can be a bit more broad, maybe something like quick 15-minute recipes for moms. And then in the board description, you can get a little bit more specific with the different types of things that you're going to be pinning on there, the different types of recipes. That way it will help Pinterest know where to rank that board on Pinterest and also where to rank the pins that you're going to be posting on that board as well. The last place you want to add keywords is on your pin images and in your pin descriptions. This is where you can get really specific and super hone in on exactly what search term you want to be ranking for that specific pin for. The pins are really where you're going to get noticed and get the impressions and get the clicks that you want onto your account. Like sure, you can rank when it comes to your profile name and you can even rank when people search up boards, but the biggest way you are going to get noticed is with your pins specifically. Now with all that information you gathered, let's be real, that is a lot. So how in the world are you going to keep track of it all? I've created a solution to this problem in the form of a downloadable Pinterest keyword tracker for you. This keyword tracker will help you keep track of everything from your board names and your board descriptions to your pin descriptions and where you want to pin everything onto your account. It makes everything so much easier. I use this document every single time I go to pin and it just makes the process go so much quicker. It's free to download if you want it. All you have to do is click the link down below in the description and grab it if you want. Now that pretty much covers the keywords on Pinterest and even a little bit of how to set up your account. So the next thing we need to focus on is the pins themselves. Now there are a lot of different techniques when it comes to pinning pins on Pinterest, and I talk about my best strategies in my new Pinterest course, Pinterest Pinterest simplicity. But here are a few of the useful tactics that I've picked up over the years. The first thing is to take advantage of holidays or trends. If you know a holiday is coming up, take advantage and act quickly. Use the Pinterest Trends tool that I mentioned earlier to figure out exactly when you should start posting holiday content, because I guarantee you're posting it too late. Did you know that people start looking up Christmas stuff on Pinterest in October? Yeah, seriously. Which, honestly, it makes total sense if you think about it. How early do you notice stores are putting out decorations for the next holiday? Let me know, because I know around here, we are getting Christmas stuff by the end of October. And the reason is people want to be prepared. They start buying early. Not many people start their Christmas shopping on December 1st, unless you're a procrastinator like me. And Pinterest users are no different. They want to be prepared for the season early. Also, make sure you pay attention to any trends going on in your niche. With Pinterest, it is more of a long-term game, and pins tend to take off a long time after they are pinned, but you may be able to gain a little bit of traction with trends, so don't be afraid to hop on any trends that you see as well. The next thing is, don't be afraid to experiment. There are so many different things that you can experiment on when it comes to Pinterest. You can do text pins, image pins, infographics. You can change up the size, you can change up the colors, you can change up the fonts. There really is no limit to the amount that you can experiment with your Pinterest pins. It's really hard for me to give you advice on what the best pin to pin on Pinterest is, because every account is different and the algorithm is always changing on what works and what doesn't. So while I can try to give you the best advice, what works on one account may not work on another. So just make sure to experiment. But while you are experimenting, it is a good idea to also pay attention to your stats. What gets measured, it gets improved. So while you're experimenting with these different types of Pinterest pins, make sure you're also paying attention to what your stats are doing on each individual pin. What are your stats on your long pins versus your short pins, or video pins versus static pins? Do pins with more words do better, or do pins with only pictures do better for your account? If you want to get the most impressions on Pinterest, you have to pay attention to what is doing well and what is not doing well. Now, this next tip may seem obvious, but do more of what works. Once you're experimenting and you're tracking your stats so you can see what works and what doesn't, pay attention to what works and do more of that. Now, this doesn't mean posting the exact same pin over and over and over again, because that is not going to help. But pay attention to the details in pins that do work and do more of that. Figure out what titles or power words work best for you, what colors, what styles of pins. Even pay attention to what topics are doing best on the Pinterest platform, because that will help you figure out what blog posts you should even do in the future as well. Now, out of all of the tips that I have for you, this one is going to be the most important. Be consistent and be patient. Pinterest is not an easy platform to get started on. It takes a lot of work, time, and effort. You will not grow your Pinterest account very fast if you pin for a week, get discouraged, and then don't pin for a month. Now, that doesn't mean that you need to pin 1,000,000 times a day. So just do what you can. Whatever amount of pins that you can do in a day that doesn't get you burned out so that you can consistently keep posting pins, post that many pins. It does not matter what it is. I always say that I recommend between 2 to 5, but if you can only pin 2 pins a day or even 1 pin a day, that is better than posting 15 pins one month and then 0 the next. Consistency is key on this platform. And then after that, be patient. I have seen numerous pins be duds for months, and then all of a sudden, a year later, they are jumping into my top 10. It sounds crazy, but I've had multiple pins do this. So you just have to be patient. If you want to get the full guide to Pinterest marketing, check out my course down below called Pinterest Simplicity. And if you liked this video and you want to learn more about the Pinterest best practices on the platform, you'll like this video right here. Make sure to subscribe to check out more videos from me, and I'll see you next week. Bye.